Welcome to the VIP Voice, the ultimate podcast where communication gets a serious upgrade. Hosted by yours truly, Manny Cabo. We'll be diving into tools, tricks, and techniques to level up your speaking game. And it doesn't matter whether you're in front of the mic, crowd, or just having that all-important one-on-one. Every episode brings real, raw, and inspiring stories from pros across all industries who are turning heads, breaking barriers, and showing up as their best selves. All here to help you do the same. So buckle up, because it's time to unleash your voice and make every word count. So let's get into it, and welcome to the VIP Voice. Hey, what's going on, VIPs, and welcome back to another episode of the VIP Voice. And as always, I definitely have to give you guys all the gratitude in the world for keeping us in the top percentile of the best podcasts worldwide. And again, guys, it's because of you. It's because of your engagement, your curiosity, as I always say, and your drive to help us grow. And we get to have these incredible conversations that, well, hopefully we push the envelope and we inspire some action. So now, let's get to the episode, because this guest I'm really excited to have on. And you all know me. Like, I don't do politics and I don't do religion. I don't do anything or engage in anything that's negative, okay? But today's guest isn't here because of his political stance. He's here because of his voice. So Sky Corban, right? He's a freelance, and I love this quote. First time I read it, I'm like, that's interesting. He's a truth teller, a freelance truth teller who's made waves in the political space, but not because he follows the status quo, right? But because he dares to walk his own truth. Now, whether you agree with him or not, the one thing is undeniable, and I love this about him. He's bold, he's unapologetic. Does that remind you of somebody? And unwavering in his mission. And you all know, if there's one thing that I truly respect, it's someone who stands firm in their convictions and uses their voice to educate. Believe me, he uses his voice, and that's an understatement, to empower, as you can hear him giggling in the background, to empower and spark conversations that actually make people think. So let's talk about fearlessness and conviction and what it really takes to carve out a space for your voice in a world that's, well, let's face it, constantly trying to silence it, right? So without further delay, Sky Corban, welcome to the VIP Voice, brother.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Dude, are you kidding me? It's a pleasure. And it's funny, but
really good intro, by the way. Yeah, really good intro.
It's true. It's all you, brother. So I appreciate that. You gave me the impetus to really give you some more fanfare, right?
Right.
So listen, let's start with the foundation, right? What was the moment or maybe the series of moments that made you realize, I don't know, that you had to speak up, right? Like, was there a personal experience that lit your fire inside you, you know?
Actually, yeah, I was in the music business for a long time. I kind of wanted out of it. And
I kind of tell that about you, man. I could tell that about you. Go ahead.
It's not for me, right? And so I got out of it. I took my money and opened up a business and signed a lease on the building. And the day after, they shut the world down for COVID. Yeah. After I took my money, I didn't take out a loan. I did COVID stuff. And whether or not you agree with what the government did or not, doesn't matter. It affected my life negatively.
No, you're not
far
alone.
Far worse than me getting sick. Now, I know some people had some troubles with COVID, but a lot of people had more troubles with the society of COVID than they did actual COVID.
I don't know if you know, man, but I lost my dad, career, Hurricane Ida was a 1-2 punch. So yeah, man, I had some pretty grueling and hardships during that time too. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So a lot of people did. It was a tough scenario for everybody, regardless of which political spectrum you were on. Yeah. It was difficult for everyone. We can all unite that it was tough. Yeah. And so I started ranting at my phone some because I was at work, 80 hours a week running my business. And everything got shut down and I was pretty frustrated about it. And then I got frustrated with the cancel culture aspect of things. And everybody was afraid to say anything because they were getting canceled.
Yeah, you and me both.
I got nothing to lose, right? I own my own business. I don't have my own boss. I'm going to take a different approach and I'm going to say what people won't say. And I was one of the first people that started just coming out, not caring what anybody, because that was my platform. And if you cancel me, you're just canceling my platform. And so now that I have more of a following than the 300 I did at the time, I can't change that. I can't change that about myself. I wouldn't have a platform at all anyway. That would be me canceling myself if I held back. So that is who I am.
That'd be a question of integrity as well.
Right.
Is it just to get the ratings? Of course. So go ahead.
And my philosophy is I say the same thing whether I have 1 follower or 1 million followers. I'm not gonna say anything different.
As you should.
Right. But you agree with me or disagree with me, it doesn't matter. But it doesn't matter to me what I think either. That's my other philosophy is I don't care what I think. I don't care what you think. I care what is. And we can have opinions about what that is. But if we don't agree that, a fork is a fork, then I can't have an opinion about the fork.
Yeah.
And you can't have it. We're at an impasse here. We can't have a conversation.
Sure.
So we have to agree at some point that truth exists. And then we can base our opinions around the truth.
That's valid. Very valid point. Dude, I mean,
thank you. No.
I can't disagree with you. I really can't. But you know what they say, man? Sometimes, unfortunately, and there's so much slander out there. You just can't fix stupid, and we get it from both sides. And it's
of course
it's pretty brutal. But here's the thing. Let's segue into the next section. I wanted to ask you. A lot of people, they do have opinions, and you just alluded to that, right? But very few actually take the action to make their voice heard. Like, what do you think separates those who stay quiet from those like yourself, right? Of course, and who actually step into the arena?
Well, I think it comes down to separating yourself from the argument. You said what separates those people is some people, the good ones actually will separate themselves in their personal aspect for the greater good of the argument.
Great answer.
Instead of the greater good of what they want the argument to be.
Sure.
A lot of problems with society today on both sides, both spectrums, you can see it. It's plain to see. They already have their conclusions made up. So they work backwards to find the premises to equal that conclusion desired. Instead of just letting the premises lead to the conclusion like a normal basis argument. They don't do that. They've already got their mind made up. What can I find that matches my argument already?
Or influenced by somebody else to make their own personal stance.
Exactly. Even if what they say isn't true, it doesn't matter. We've gotten to a point where when did your ideology become more important to you than being correct?
Yeah.
And I think that was probably 2020. Honestly,
it's been going on for a while, especially in the political realm. You really,
of course.
You have to do your own research, man. You really, really do. People just follow the herd. They're like, well, if Sky's saying that this is true, then it's got to be true. No, guys. Just like what you said, I love it. Please repeat that.
Yeah. It doesn't. I don't care what I think. I don't care what you think. I care what is. And then once we discover what is, we can discuss what we think about the what is.
100%.
But we don't do that anymore. No. It's whatever I think about it is right. And I think that's a terrible. It's the opposite of logic. Yeah. I minored in logic, and so I fell in love with it. You have to work towards the conclusion. You can't start with the conclusion. Now there is deductive reasoning if the conclusion is all that you have.
Right.
But that's not all we have anymore. We have plenty of evidence, which isn't proof, and you find that evidence and put it together until it equals the proof. But we don't do that as a society because everything is so personal.
Yeah, 100%. And God forbid you say anything that hurts people's feelings or they get butthurt. And now you're wrong because you've insulted and you've infringed on my, philosophy or my views. So
cultish aspect of things. Yeah,
it really is. So now here's my next question to you: like standing for something, especially in such. Let's just use the word polarizing space, right? It comes with its challenges. Like, have you personally ever faced a moment where you questioned whether this path was worth it? And if so, like, what pulled you back in? I'm just saying, perhaps it did, perhaps it didn't.
Every day is like, why do I do it? Of course, but I enjoy it probably more than anything. I really do. Like being able to say things off the cuff that no one else has thought of yet is sort of self-appeasing. Like I enjoy the fact that I can think of something that all the other influencers didn't think of. Yeah. And that's usually my goal. What didn't they say? Instead of let me tack on to what they've already said. I go, what didn't they say?
Well, not only do I love what you're putting out, but I love that, some of your videos are cheeky. Some of them are very funny.
Oh, yeah.
Right? But I think they have to be, as someone who appreciates comedy, who appreciates the entertainment side of things, that's what reels people in.
But what I love about it is you drive the point home with some validity. And even though people may disagree with you, that's fine. But when you have factual evidence, now they're just hating you because you're telling the truth. And it's almost like you're mocking them with the comedy, which I happen to love. I don't really care. I'm just like, hey, listen, you can like me or hate me. I have haters out there that don't even know anything about me. And yet they find out that I'm a teddy bear when they finally get to know me. So there's plenty of empathy.
Same. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. They don't expect me to be as respectfully nice as I am in real life. When they meet me, I never meet anyone I don't like in person. Like I'm extremely respectful. I'm not good with bad customer service. Let's just go ahead and get that out of the way. Bad customer service.
Neither am I.
I do not have a good time with that. But everything else, I'm easygoing. I got really good advice from an old boss I had one time. He said, "Take everything seriously but yourself." And I took it to heart, and I was like, yeah, there's nothing you can say that's going to hurt my feelings. There's nothing I don't take myself seriously. I joke around with everything. I find comedy and excitement and entertainment in almost everything. Even if it's something, like I lost a sister in a car wreck and she had a great sense of humor. Yeah, I accept your apology.
This is why we have this guy on. I love it. He's such a wise ass. It's great. Go ahead. She had a great sense of humor. She was a lot like me. She was older than me. I could see that.
And so I tell people, I was like, they're like, how'd she die? And I'm like, it was a car accident. I was 9. And then they say, I'm so sorry. I said, well, I shouldn't have been driving. That's not true. But it eases the tension. And yet I know people get awkward about the death, but death is a part of life.
They do.
It's legitimately a part of life. You got to deal with it. You can't ever get past it, but you can move through it.
Oh yeah. Well, it never goes away, but here's the way I look at it as well. I think you're going to agree with me. The loss of my dad, it fucking killed me. Until this day, it's never going to go away. But the way I like to look at it is, that pain that I feel, that void that I embrace all the time, I'm grateful for it because it's a constant reminder how much I love my dad. And I'm sure that you can relate to
If
that.
it didn't hurt, that would be a bad thing. If it didn't hurt you, you wouldn't have had a great relationship. And my dad's my best friend, so I get it. Me and him talk on a daily basis every single day.
That's awesome.
And he calls me the new Thomas Paine, which because I put out a bunch of crazy quotes all the time that are like hitting people directly in the throat. But yeah, he follows my content probably more than anyone.
Oh, that's awesome. So listen, Sky, so your brand, obviously the quote unquote freelance truth teller, I appreciate it, as I said before, because, it's all about authenticity and transparency. And in an age where misinformation spreads like wildfire, and I've experienced it firsthand. So how do you personally ensure that your voice, Sky's voice, right, remains credible and impactful?
I'm credible and impactful because I find even misinformation as information. I don't. You have to be able to see the good with the bad. Yeah. There is no real such thing as information. If I'm a detective, I'm looking at all the things that it can't be just as much as the things that it can be.
Gotcha.
And all of that is information. I just have to decipher what's true and what isn't true.
Deductive reasoning, like you were saying. Yeah,
right,
exactly.
Of course. Yeah. So it's all information, even if it's false. It's still information.
Sure.
I don't think there is a misinformation, because it is still information, even if it's wrong. Yeah. Like I have to learn from mistakes as well. I have to learn from things that are incorrect. I have to learn from falsehoods so you don't make those mistakes again. So you don't say the same falsehoods again. If we just call it misinformation and then that's allowed, that's misinformation, then you can call anything that.
Sure.
If we just call it information, then that leads us more into an aspect of, well, let me figure out if it's true or not. Labeling something untrue already without research is more of the problem than just, just stating things are misinformation is a problem to me. I think
it's so dangerous. Man.
Exactly. I don't speculate. I don't speculate. I'm sort of also untouchable in the realm of the big time influencers because I'm I'm a liability. To be honest,
I wouldn't want to go up against you, man. Seriously, they
don't want to have me put their platform at risk saying something that I shouldn't say. Yeah. But to me, if I do it on my own, that's why I'm a freelance truth teller. I don't have to have the bumpers on my bowling lane.
Sure.
So
No, I get it, man. And dude, I have to tell you, this is exactly why, these conversations and why I love doing this show, because it's true. Yeah. It's not about what you say. It's about the courage to say what you want to say, what you believe in, and whether people agree with you or not, as we just alluded to. The reality is that, conviction and authenticity will always stand out. And to all my listeners out there, let that be a reminder to all of you. If you've got a story, right, like Sky or like anyone else I bring on the show, or a message or a purpose, just fucking own it, right? The world needs more voices. The world needs more voices. I'll let you continue. It needs more voices that are fearless, right? That are honest and unafraid to walk in their truth, man. So I'll let you talk. But before we do that, where can people follow you, brother? Like, connect with you and continue to hear your perspective, Sky?
So I mainly do Instagram. I like Instagram. I don't need an hour to get the point across. I like it as quick and concise as possible, with as many quippy jokes. But my Instagram is at thetruth.Sky Corban. It's Corban. And I just love the platform. I don't like the owners of the platform, but I do like the creativity of the platform.
I don't,
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody does.
Right, of course. People don't like to be controlled, regardless of which side you're on,
or lied to.
Or exactly. Yeah. So that it doesn't matter if I like you as a person. I hate being lied to more than I like you. Yeah, man. So just don't lie to me. Like, that's basically the same.
As my coach would say, don't piss down my back and tell me it's raining, brother. Okay. And again, bear in mind, just put the politics aside. Just really appreciate what he's all about because of his content. And again, you don't have to agree with him, but respect the fact that he's voicing everything that he believes is true. And I honestly trust him. If I look at a post that Sky puts out, I'm like, I believe him. I really do, because this is the type of person that goes all in to find the truth. So, all right, VIPs, that's a wrap. And don't forget to subscribe and leave a review and share this episode, above all, with someone who needs to hear it. So stay bold, just like Sky, and stay creative. Find your voice and cultivate it. But above all, own it. All right, so until next time, this is Manny Cabo signing off. I'll catch you on the next episode. Much love to you, Sky, and I appreciate you sharing your insights.
Thank you. Love you, bud.
Take care of yourself.
Thanks for tuning in to the VIP Voice podcast. If today's episode resonated, we'd love for you to leave a quick review. It really helps spread the word. And if you're a speaker, entertainer, entrepreneur, or industry professional with a story to share, we're always on the lookout for inspiring guests who align with our mission. So drop us a message at info@mannycabo.com. Let's keep building a community of powerful voices. Thanks for listening, and see you next time.